Hello, ladies and gents. Romie Reviews here. Please like, comment, subscribe. And actually, I want to talk about just for a little bit the chilling adventures of Sabrina. And this is the Netflix show of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the producers of Riverdale also created this, because it looks like it. So I want to just talk about some of the characters. I'll do a couple of different videos because there's so much to discuss, because I've watched the entire thing. So I think instead I'm going to break it up into separate videos. This video is going to focus on just a few of the characters that I care about mentioning. We're going to start with some of the easier ones and then get into the main. We'll start with Harvey. So Harvey is Sabrina's boyfriend, and we find out that, oh yeah, whoa. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. These full of spoilers. I'm telling you about these characters, specific stuff in the show. So please, if you haven't watched yet, if you were just looking for a quick little 1, 2, 3 synopsis, back off right now. I don't want to make anyone upset. So this is spoiler alert. Now, we'll talk about Harvey. Harvey, I don't know if I want to call him all-American, because he's not. He's not. Harvey's actually a pretty mild-mannered guy. You could tell that probably if it wasn't for his girlfriend and, you know, Sabrina's friends, which they're all friends, but let's be clear, they're mainly Sabrina's friends. If it wasn't for, well, they're Harvey's friends too. But there's a difference. If it wasn't for the other ladies and Sabrina, he probably would be a loner. He'd probably just stay in the library or wherever and do his drawings. He loves to draw. That's his way of expressing himself. It's hard because he's in a family of miners. His family owns the town mine, and his father wants him to be a miner. His brother, Luke is okay with Harvey being who he is, and his brother was a buffer. And I say was a buffer because in season 1, the brother ends up dying because of some witch activity, because we find out Harvey's family bloodline traces back to witch hunters. His family was part of the reason why the witches were run out of that town. Now, Harvey himself, he goes through a big change. He's the type that wouldn't hurt a fly to having to go to kill his brother because of his girlfriend. So now I'm wondering in season 2, how does that turn out for him and his relationships that he currently has with his other friends and the type of person he'll become. Next person I want to talk about is Hilda. Hilda is just so adorable. She's so adorable and innocent, and if memory serves me right, I think they even said that she was still a virgin or something. I said, oh, really? But Hilda is the nice sister, the overly accommodating sister. She makes excuses for her sister Zelda, and she's gotten used to it. And also Zelda, so yeah, we'll talk about both Hilda and Zelda. So Hilda is the nice one. She's the super accommodating one. Zelda is the, I guess you can say, the traditionally more attractive, more sexual sister. Nasty attitude, loves her family, but just has a general nasty attitude or standoffish disposition. But she treats Hilda like poop, like garbage. And we see how Zelda has become accustomed to treating her sister a certain way, so it takes some really big events to occur for her to get out of that. And once she wants to kind of reconnect with her sister, that's when Hilda decides, hey, she's got a man who we can't trust because it looks like he's a demon, and we know that is a lot. And that's really the thing with, and also Zelda, you can tell she's someone that secretly wants love, but she tries to play it cool, like she has all these partners. But no, there's not much going on in her life as well until Father Blackwood and her start doing some stuff, And then at the end, you see that she is desperate for love and affection, and also to have her sister by her. So I think that's the reason why she went and took Father Blackwood's daughter, aside from the other reason that she gave. Speaking of Father Blackwood is supposed to be like their covens. So think of their coven as a church, as a sect of a larger church, and the larger church of sin and despair and devilish ways and all of that, because they essentially pray to the fallen angel. And I'm not saying his name on here, but you get who I'm referencing. And the thing is, Zelda is the type of person where she loves her religion, and she loves everything about being a witch. Hilda seems like someone that can almost take it or leave it. Father Blackwood, you can see that he's a rolling stone. He has a wife. We find out that he actually has, probably has multiple kids, but if not, at the very least, he's gone and slept with who's who and what in the coven, probably outside the coven. And he's the type of person where his whole goal is to get Sabrina to come over and accept her fate and really join the church and really join the coven. And he does a lot of manipulating to try and do it, but ultimately it's not him who's able to do it, because he went and really tried to tell her that she had free will. She could take it or leave it, do whatever she wants. That's not the reality of this world in this situation. So let's talk about, I forgot how to pronounce this. Is it Rosalind? Because I don't think it's Rosalind. Maybe. But anyway, that's one of Sabrina's friends. She's, well, important things. She's a woman. She's black. And she's definitely strong, confident. But we find out that her big thing is she has sight issues. And we later find out from her grandmother that it sounds like they were cursed by a witch family. We don't know which family it is, but supposedly it's not the Spellmans. And because of this curse, it's allowed for them to gain a second sight and essentially see the future, see the past. And a lot of that comes up. And she's actually one of the people that finds out that Sabrina's a witch. And I thought it was interesting how her, along with her friend Susie Putman, who Susie, I don't know if Susie is just a flat out lesbian. I don't know if Susie seems to, be accepting of the fact that she's overall a girl for now, but I don't know if Susie really thinks that she's a Sam, because they don't really, we just see that she wears clothing to really hide herself, and she has a haircut, and her whole style is almost ambiguous. And again, I don't know if it's because she's a lesbian and she doesn't want to play up her female sexuality, or if there's something deeper to it. In season 1, we kind of got almost there with the definitive answer, and then we got pulled back. But she's actually connected to the family member who brought the witches to that town, and she plays a big part in towards the end of the first season, as far as she also finds out that Sabrina's a witch. Now, the weird part is, I don't know if that was a spell put on by someone who we're going to talk to next, or if that really was an ancestor. I really want to say it's a spell, but now we get to, who do I want to go to next? Actually, no. Let's go to Prudence, because Prudence was a rock star. Prudence is the type of person where she took no mess. She was very devout. She believed in what she believed in, which was, a big contrast to Sabrina, who almost seemed like she didn't really believe in anything except for what was right in front of her, which was interesting. That was an interesting thing. But Prudence, she was also a mean girl. She was a mean girl, but it was more than that, because she almost tried to kill Sabrina. So I can't say that she was just a mean girl. Prudence almost killed Sabrina, but we find out later that she almost did that because she was instructed to go and terrorize Sabrina by her father, who she didn't know at the time was her father, and Blackwood. And it's just, she's complicated because I feel like under certain circumstances, she probably could have been a better person. She's not even the worst type of person. She kind of is the model person that you would expect from that type of coven, that type of group, that type of organization. Like I said, because she's very devout, but she has a wicked side. But we understand it's like father, like daughter. She plays a huge part in almost everything this first season. I wonder how that's going to come into play season 2. And she had 2 other sisters, but aside from them going and being the reason why Harvey's older brother died, they didn't play too much of a part. And also, one was used to resurrect the brother, but that didn't go so well. Let's talk about Ambrose, because Ambrose, fashion-wise, I feel like he's stuck in the 70s. I feel like he's stuck in the 70s. But Ambrose is really cool. And as soon as I saw him, I said, oh, there's something else to him. There's something more to this character. And in this show in general, you have to understand that, I guess, with supernatural creatures, because I watch other shows, you know, with supernatural beings and creatures, a lot of times they are very sexual. Like, all of their senses are heightened. So one of the senses, you know, sexual feelings and expressions, it's heightened. And a lot of times they are, to a certain point, fluid when it comes to who they're willing to sleep with, because they're but Ambrose, it looks like his preference is probably men. Most of the other people, they pretty much were heterosexual for the most part. But Ambrose, he's under under house arrest. He's under lock and key. And the thing with him is, he just wants to be free. He wants to be free. It's been such a long time that he's been able to go out and date and just have a regular life outside of his home. Imagine this man, old, probably centuries old, or at least a century old, and he's stuck in his house. He is stuck in his house. He can't go anywhere outside, too far outside the house, except for like coven meetings. And that takes a toll. That psychologically takes a toll. So we see his character development was, he was essentially like Sabrina's sidekick, because Salem, the familiar cat, doesn't talk in this one. He doesn't talk. Or remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back. At least he doesn't talk to us. He talks to Sabrina, but we only hear meows. We don't hear the cat talking like how we did, let's say, in the Teeny Bopper version of this show in the late 90s. Or in the animated versions of the show. And Ambrose is the one who's telling Sabrina, well, if you're going to do this, then let me go and help you out. But he was also enabling her. And that's a huge issue with Sabrina. Sabrina definitely was enabled to the point where she started doing really dumb stuff. Let's see, some honorable mentions before I get to the main event. Oh yeah, and before with Ambrose. So Ambrose, he eventually finds a partner, a guy who we never really get more clarity on what happened to Ambrose's boyfriend, X, who I guess they weren't in a committed relationship. They were just hanging out. But that whole thing was weird. And then Ambrose's boyfriend was actually close to Father Blackwood. So that also made me feel like, was this all a setup to try and get the Spellman family closer to the coven so that Sabrina could be, cinched in there? Now, we have the mother of demons, and that's Mary. You can't make this stuff up. It's Mary. Mary Hardwell. Mary Hardwell is supposed to be a teacher. She's supposed to be a teacher at Sabrina's regular school, because Sabrina eventually had to go to 2 schools. But Mary was taken over by the Mother of Demons. And the Mother of Demons' job was to go and watch over Sabrina and also help her transition from a half-human, half-witch to going and fully devoting herself to her coven and to the fallen angel. And Mary, I think Mary's character is undervalued. Not undervalued. You know, I feel like people probably wouldn't talk about her character enough, because she orchestrated so much and really important things to take Sabrina to the next level. She was trying to sabotage Sabrina's relationship with her friends, but her friends, all of them are slightly off. Like, even when Harvey found out that Sabrina's the reason why her brother was brought back alive, but then he had to go and kill her, he still understood. So all of this was a little bit unrealistic, but there's something off in this town, so maybe that's why they were extra understanding. Oh, it was a mess. But Mary, she did everything she possibly could on that front. She also wanted to go and really have Sabrina embrace her witch side, by doing the first ever witch exorcism, by having Sabrina kill someone, which I said, this doesn't make sense. This can't be happening. Sabrina killing Sabrina, the teenage witch. Because, okay, but she only did that because she thought, oh, if I just put her back in the mud, not the mud, in the soil that's in our yard that reanimates people, then everything will be fine. But every little thing that's, you know, Mary did, it slowly got Sabrina closer to the point where in the season finale, she was able to convince Sabrina, who, mind you, did not want to sign her name in the book, in the grimoire, but Sabrina does. And she's still technically human, or partially human, but now she's a full witch, because part of her power wasn't there. And I feel like I just need to talk about Sabrina next, so I keep bringing her up. But Mary, Mary. And Mary doing all that lying, saying that, oh, I'm a friend of your father's, and my witch coven and this and that. I'm thinking, and no one's fact checking this? But that's the problem. Oh, before I get to Sabrina, let's talk about her parents. So her mother, who was Catholic, and actually got Sabrina baptized. So Sabrina was technically, you know, signed away to one church and one faith and one religion, which almost canceled out her father the following day going and signing her name in the Fallen Angels grimoire. That was, I didn't see that one coming. But it's interesting that her parents, they loved her and they loved each other, but they both had different motives, very different motives. It almost makes me think, was Sabrina's father a good guy? Like, was he a bad boy that softened up because he got a wife and then Sabrina came around? Is that what it is? Because some of the things that he did or was a part of, it makes you feel like, maybe him and Zelda were really, really about, you know, the church. It was just that he wanted to change a few things, but he was fine with most of it. That's what I'm starting to think. And Sabrina's mom didn't want any of that for her. But too late. Too late. Let's see. Is there anyone else I want to get to before I talk about Sabrina? Let's see. So we can talk about Sabrina, and I can bring up other characters if it fits. Is Billy? Let's see. Billy. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Billy was, oh yeah, Sabrina's principal is trash. He was definitely backwards as far as his thinking. And he gets snuffed out in the end. So I'm fine with that. Sabrina gains a boyfriend. Not a boyfriend, but there's this guy who's very interested in her. And he goes to the witch school that Sabrina also has to go to. And he plays a big part in, and I don't know why. I said, oh, I kind of respect him, because even though he liked Sabrina, and I wasn't sure if he liked her for her or her for her family lineage, I wasn't sure about that, but he actually seems to like her for her. He was actually telling her, if you love Harvey, go and be with Harvey. Go and try to work it out with Harvey. I'm thinking, in what type of world is, I mean, that's a smart move. It's a very smart move, especially if they don't work out. Then he can come in and say, well, I did everything I possibly could. Because now it looks like maybe in season 2, him and Sabrina may come together. But yeah, he was obsessed with her family. So let's talk about Sabrina for a few minutes. Sabrina, when we first see the show, she is 15. So she's not even the age for her to go and accept her full powers and full responsibilities. She's very naive. She's very naive, but she's very woke. She's very aware of, you know, other people, other circumstances. She stands up for people. She stands up for her friends. She's all about women empowerment. She's definitely a feminist. And seems like all around decent person, but we know that she's not just a human. She's also a witch. So there's certain things about her that you can already see, I don't know about that one. But she's very entitled, but part of that is because she's naive and was coddled by her entire family. I'm talking about Ambrose, Hilda, and Zelman. All of them. She was coddled, and because of that, she had this false sense of power and privilege. Yes, the woman who was fighting for everyone was also fighting with her own privilege. She thought that, oh, because I have these powers and I can go through these loopholes, I can say no to, you know, my coronation, I can say no to this and that, you know, this is wrong, that is wrong, and I'm just going to find a way to make it work. No, it doesn't work. One of her biggest screw-ups, like I said, is when she thinks that she can cheat death, and she tries to go and bring Harvey's brother back to life. She does, but in the process, she linked him to one of Prudence's sisters, and that causes the sister to slowly die, because a life for a life. And she thinks, okay, well, I'm just going to go and get his soul back, and everyone's telling her, he's in the human realm. Yes, you're half human, but it doesn't mean it'll work. And they're not going to go and allow you to just go and do something that most likely would kill you. So that's when she asked Mary for help. Of course, Mary asked her, you know, the mother of the demons said yes. But it doesn't work because the soul eater kills him. And so then she's faced with reality. I think this was episode 9. It was a really crucial episode where she realizes, okay, now I can't just do whatever I want. I'm not just all powerful. And she was being played the entire time by her teacher, didn't realize it, partially because the teacher was enabling her. And again, that's where the naive young side comes in, because one person is telling you everything you want to hear, so you're going along with them, you know, not even thinking, should I be going along with this? They're telling me what I want to hear, but are the other people that have been there for me and ended up being right? Are they right? One of the positives about her is that she at least tried to fight the system. She tried to fight the system, and she won in certain ways. Originally, like I said, she was supposed to join, become a full witch, do all of that. She said no, and she went to a lawyer, this lawyer who helped her out, and they allowed her to go to her regular school and also attend the witch school. She was getting hazed at school, and so I'm glad that she reached out to her aunts and they helped her out. And she was able to convince kids who apparently were being killed during the hazing process at that witch school to go and fight back and to teach Prudence and her sisters a lesson. And so some of those moments I was really proud of. But again, Sabrina, and like when Sabrina told Prudence about, hey, don't you think it's kind of messed up that you're going to be sacrificed and that they're going to eat your body and it's this grand honor? I mean, the first person did it so that the other witches wouldn't starve. But you don't need to do that. And Blackwood, who is like a father figure to you, why would he want this for you? It doesn't make sense. And so she helped her out with that. And like I said, she has a lot of redeeming qualities. She loves her boyfriend. She really tried to help him. She was at least honest with her friends. So she will have lost her friends if she still kept up that lie of, oh, I'm not a witch. But she told the truth regarding that. But again, she was still naive. And at the end, she got played. And she still doesn't know that she got played. Her teacher, you know, the Mother of Dragons, was able to trick her into... So Mary released the 13 witches who had vengeance, who wanted to seek vengeance on all of... on the town, whether you were a witch or a human. And Sabrina was the one who had to go and take care of it. She took care of it by signing her name in the grimoire, which allowed her to gain full access to, you know, the fallen angel's powers and abilities. And when she did what she did by killing the witch's souls, I said, something about this doesn't feel right. I understand they're the enemy, but still, something about this does not feel right. And I knew from there, her hair changed, different attitude, different mood. I figured that things were going to change forever for her. And now it looks like she's fully going to be a student at, you know, the Witch Academy, and who knows what we're going to get from her. Who knows what we're going to get from her. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Anyone else who I didn't mention, of course they mattered, but I just wanted to go over the main people. If there's anyone that you felt like I should have spoke about and I didn't, just let me know. Let me know what you think of the series. Please like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned.
Remember to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe and come back.